The answer is the outside world, capitalism. If you remember, there was the Berlin Wall, which wasn't called a wall, but was called the anti-fascist bulwark by the communist leadership. And the argument was that they needed to keep the fascists and the capitalists out of East Germany because that's where they wanted to come. At the same time, the Stasi argued that it needed to make sure that East German counter-revolutionaries, people who meant the regime harm, were kept in check. But I think actually a lot of what the Stasi was involved in, the police in general, were infringements on what they regarded as egalitarianism, equal access, and public property, theft of those sorts. So I want to give you just one personal experience to illustrate this, let's say, less than political moment, but that nevertheless gives you a sense of how the police thought about how private and public property might work. So I went with some friends to Rostock, and we went to a beach. We were driving the VW bus of one of my friend's fathers, and so we had all sorts of paper saying that we were allowed to do that. And we got to the beach and we had no idea where to park. There wasn't a parking lot like you'd have at an American or a Western European beach. Instead, there was just a field, and we saw that there were some cars that were parked on the field. So we naturally thought, okay, that's where people should park. So we parked the bus and we went on to the beach, and a couple hours later came back to find that there was a Fopo, a Volkspolizist, sitting on his motorcycle who had been waiting for us and was kind of unhappy because he was wearing one of these green polyester uniforms and it was really, really hot. So he got very angry with us and said that we didn't have the right to actually park there. And we noticed that actually almost all the cars had disappeared, and it was really only our VW bus there. But it was a Western VW, Volkswagen, a Western bus, and it stood out anyhow. So he started arguing with us about why it was illegal for us to park on the people's property. And we said to him, but how are we supposed to know? There's no sign. And he said, oh, yes, there's a sign. It's about a mile down this way. And we said, yes, but we came from the other way. He said, well, you should have driven all the way past where you wanted to park to find the regulation telling you where it was legal for you to park and come all the way back. And if you couldn't find the sign, then you shouldn't park there. So I think that there's a way in which these kinds of unwritten or unclear rules about how you protect public property and equal access and things like that were applied in a way that seemed to be formally fair. But in fact, it was really just about this particular policeman's annoyance with us and the fact that we were Westerners and could leave the country at any time.